Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little, expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house or in your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
What?
Yeah, hear me?
Hey, what's up? How you doing, boo? Okay, she gonna have to come back. But anyway, what's up, everybody? Hey, Pastor. Hey, Clyde. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope everybody can hear me okay. If you cannot hear me okay, please say something in the chat. But anyway, yes, what's up? No, he ain't flagged me. He better not be trying to flag me. Shoot. I have a right to speak my mind. What's that amendment, Pastor Jay? I know you know that amendment. Thou shalt not stop me from speaking, or whatever that First Amendment says, But anywho, matter of fact, you know what? Thank you, Jay Wilson. You just made me think of something. Hold on right here. Hold on. There we go. How's that? How's that, Jay Wilson? I got him now. I got it up there now. Dang it. Yeah, let me move that Cash App so they can see everything. But yeah, I'm just teasing though. I'm just messing around. But no. And Sislo, can you hear us okay? Sislo, you are on mute, baby. Sislo is on mute. Okay, let me take this off the screen. I just had to act out for a second. But you guys, yes, we're going to be discussing First Amendment. Yeah. And thank you, Clyde. Thank you. And, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. I'll continue to say it. But I really do appreciate everybody who's keeping my father in your prayers. He's still in the hospital. It's going on he went in there on the 7th, I believe. So it's like 9 days now that he's in there, and they still can't tell me when they think he might be able to go home. But it's a lot of things going on. I talked about it a little bit in that shorts video that I put out just to let people know why I haven't been live a lot, because I've been working and at the hospital working. Doctors calling me all day. I done had a psychiatrist call me the other day. Have you anybody in your family ever had? No, what's going on now? Like, child, I'm like, oh, it's a lot, y'all. I'm trying to hang on, though. I'm trying to hang on for the sake of my father, But anyway, yeah, so just please continue to keep us prayed up. And Sislo, can you hear me now? I don't know what's wrong with her, but first y'all couldn't hear me. Now y'all can hear. Okay, I'm going to just move on right along. Sislo, if you can hear me, please eventually say something. But I'm going to hit mute because before I start off discussing, we're going to discuss Buddha v. Terrill. We're going to discuss his part 1 of a 4-part series that he's doing. And also we're going to discuss another show that I recently watched. Reid happened to jump on there. He was, getting ready to get on a flight. He was getting ready to, get on a plane, but somebody was doing a live and they were discussing him and discussing Buddha, aka Reid Terrill. And his name is Thais, by the way, Thais Report Show. He was live earlier and he was discussing Larry Reid live and Buddha. So Larry Reid was in the chat and he was just chatting. He was in the chatting, okay? And then Thais was like, man, everybody want to be in the chat, but don't nobody want to hit the link. So I really think that Larry felt like not pressured, but like a challenge, like, I'll hit your link, because he did say, hey, I don't hit everybody links like that. I normally give exclusives or intels to my homeboy, Conscious TV, which we all know Conscious TV always got the tea, right? When it comes to Larry Reid or anybody, surrounding him or storylines surrounding him or whatnot. So he felt, I'll hit your link since you talking about it. He said, I feel like you're not being biased. So, I'll hit your link. So he graced this platform. I thought it was a really good show. Yeah, what's up with that, Pastor? I heard that too. I am late. Like I said, I can't even tell you anything that's really been going on in the B sector. I heard Brianna this morning talking about one of the guys in the black sector. He's a perv, did something back in the day. Then he married some lady that he was being pervy to when he was younger and the girl was younger. Then after he got out of prison, he went back being pervy with her again. And then he ended up marrying the girl. And I'm like, nah, I ain't interested in that. I don't watch none of those people over there. So I was like, let me try to find something else. But Clyde said, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, education, research. Thank you. Fair use is permitted. Thank you. By copyright status. All right. But I want to play this little clip, you guys. We had, y'all know Darren Moore. We had one of his good buddies on our show some months ago when Buddha first broke with his story. So he graced our platform and we spoke to him. It wasn't really an interview because it wasn't planned or nothing. He just hit our link. So I want to play first a couple of minutes of him speaking on our panel from a few months ago. Then we're going to go into Larry Reid and his show, or him being present on Thais, and a little bit of updating with the Larry Reid situation. And then we're going to go into Buddha's part 1 of 4 of his 4-part series. So Sislo, can you hear me now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Hear you.
The phone rang right when I was clicking into the show, and it messed up the audio somehow.
It always does.
I just want to just tell you that we have been vigilant about your dad and your brother, and I love you. If there's anything I can do, I'm here. All right, I love you. And let's do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And he, like I said, he's still in the hospital. I don't know when he's going to come home, but like I said the other day, I will do a little update, not giving too much details, but I'll do a little update, another like 1 minute story probably tomorrow, because I do need to talk to some more doctors tomorrow. So yeah, but I'll update you guys on that tomorrow. But hey, Charlie, how you doing, boo? And when we get done discussing what we're discussing today, if anybody wants to hit the link, please feel free to hit the link. Pastor, you can hit the link. Charlie, you can hit the link. Anybody else in here? But oh yeah, please share out the live. Y'all know we a little small platform over here. We don't get clicks and views like all them other big timers. Okay, that's what I call them over here, big timers. The bigger YouTubers. But yes, so Sisla, I'm gonna play this little recap. You was on here with me. It was you, me, bro, and it was Marcus. So ain't that his name, Marcus? Yeah. He goes by actually Mad Church Disease. That's his name. Why did I call him Marcus? What is his real name, Sisla?
I can't think of it.
Oh, what is his real Marcel? That's it, Marcellus. That's his real name. His actual name is Marcellus, but he goes by, you can see it on here, Mad Church Disease, because he's in the comments. He's in the comments, and his comment is on the screen when he was on our show. Thank you. Oh, pastor say you are a more time? Oh, he about to make me light-skinned girl blush. Okay. Anyway, let me play this real quick for y'all. I'm gonna hit mute, and Sis Love, you can hit mute. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
What's up? Did you hear me, bro?
Hey,
I can hear you. Hey.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. You got
Good,
something to add
good.
to the show today?
Yeah, Lord, there's so much. Most of the people that are talking about this, they haven't been with us from the beginning. When Daryl Moore and I started doing this whole conversation about Larry, a lot of people don't know how this stuff started. This stuff started because of an initial lawsuit. And Daryl didn't go looking for victims. He didn't go looking for all of this stuff. These people came to us and asked us to have their voices heard. And Daryl did a masterful job of researching, studying and really researching this and looking into this. And I wanted to say this to you guys. You guys are right on it, first of all. Larry's going to do nothing but manipulate this situation. He's going to continue to lie. But the truth is out there. And what I find egregious in this whole matter, and what really should make people's eyes and ears perk up, is the fact that this man claims to be a pastor, a leader in the
Come
Lord's
on,
church.
come on, baby,
He,
come on.
you know, he cl- he claimed, he claims to be someone who is prophetic and who speaks the oracles of God. And I have said this to Larry, and I will say this to you guys publicly again and again. Larry's no more a prophet than Donald Duck. He is the same kind of individual that Bernard Jordan is. It is egregious, and it's just going to keep unfolding. And I had to tell Daryl and them today, I said, you all listen to me very carefully. Before this is all said and done, and I've said this to Larry publicly, and I'm going to say it again on your platform, this will follow Larry Reid for the rest of his life. This tree has been shaken, and there will continue to be people who will fall out of this tree who will reveal who Larry Reid is. Point blank. This is going to be talked about for a long, long time. They're going to study the manipulative tactics of this man. There are going to be churches and pastors and leaders who are going to use this as an example to tell their congregation and to teach their leadership what not to do. Okay. This is going to get larger and bigger than what we are even experiencing right now. What you all think you're looking at right now, you have no idea how big this is about to get. Okay. And so I just want to say, keep talking, keep warning your family members, your loved ones about these types of tactics from so-called leaders and people who claim to be in the Lord's church. And I'll leave it there until Daryl and I speak about this later. I just want to tell you, you guys do your very best to do your homework and your research because this gets deep. We didn't make anything up on Larry. They can lie and say whatever they want, but every single time we turn around, we're being vindicated every single day. Every day.
I believe you. I mean, I've been. So that is a little bit of what video we did a couple of months ago. Y'all know when Buddha first came out, when the news when it hit the fan that him and Larry Reid had a relationship. I'm sure some people already thought that to be true, but rumors get around, especially in the church house. Okay, that is like the main place where people gossip, whether it's salacious or juicy or drama, truth or false. So, rumors have been around for years, and come to find out, Buddha, he came live. He sat on his platform. He said they have been messing around for 13 years. 13 years. And I always think that the way people treat Larry before then and up until now is because for years and years and years, not only have we kept hearing and still hear allegations of him doing stuff to underage boys, having all kind of boys living with him and doing things to underage boys, but he's always stood 10 toes down, which we know now ain't really the truth, but that he Don't even, he had that one, a couple of experiences. He had something happen to him when he was younger, which wasn't, something he wanted. And then once he got older, he said he tried it again, and that was it. And he always stood by that. Always, until Buddha came out some months ago, told his story, outed Larry, exposed him, and played audio of Larry's own voice. Larry's own voice, basically proving that all these years Larry had been lying to everybody from the church house to YouTube, family, friends, wife, kids, everybody. So I wanted to play that clip first before we get into what was discussed on Thais's show today. So, Sislo, do you want to say anything about that video from a few months ago? Or you could just start going in talking about Thais's show earlier today when Larry dropped on the panel and what he talked about.
Well, no, I mean, I'm still like, I guess it doesn't matter like what either side is saying at this point. It's going to be a he say, she say. Oh, I'm sorry, he say, unless they identify differently. But
That was funny.
it's going to be uh, us against them type of thing, and nobody's going to know the full of the truth. But I didn't get to hear every bit of the Thais thing, and I didn't get to hear the entire Buddha's thing. But what I did hear was too traumatic for me to have to go through. But what I did hear made me to wonder, like, if you in terms of Larry Reid, if you were not guilty of these things, what do you care what he puts out there if it's not true? What do
Exactly.
you care? Why do you care? Why would you continue to give him what he wants to prevent him from doing the inevitable? What he inevitably did. So if that was the case, if you were trying to keep him quiet, why? Why was it necessary to keep him quote unquote quiet if there was nothing to be quiet about? Um, I heard somebody say, an old person say a long time ago, the empty wagon make the most noise. The person with the least substance makes the most noise. So when you try to silence somebody, that's when you know that somebody is obviously, you guilty of something if you don't want me to say nothing. Like you paying me to be quiet kind of thing. So I don't understand why it's so important for him to try to prove that he did it out of love or out of concern for Buddha, paying him an extra year out of his pocket. If you didn't do anything wrong, bump your pocket.
Right.
I'm not going to sit up here and scrape and scrap and try to pay you to be quiet if I know I haven't done anything or if I'm not guilty of anything. No, I think, or I tend to believe that there are some truths to the things that Buddha is saying. I do believe that
Same
some of
here.
those things are exaggerated as well. But I do believe that there are some truths to what Buddha is saying. I do believe that Larry has a desire or struggle or a relationship in that area of same-sex love. Um, it could be why he decided not to get married again, or that it was cool for him and his wife to live together, and ex-wife anyway, to raise the children because he wasn't going to pursue a relationship with another woman anyway, because most women ain't going to go for that. Um, it's just, not that particular dynamic anyways. They're all living in the same house together. So, and how they say birds of a feather flock together. So when you are it's like all your group appears to want or desire the same thing that you want or desire, you can't help but to feel or think that that you are all this, desiring the same thing. Or I'm just gonna say, if some of them are not gay, they look effeminate.
Oh yeah,
Um,
a lot of his
and you cannot, right,
circle
but you
was gay.
can't,
Yeah, mm-hmm.
right, you can't always go by that because there are some metro sexual men, I guess they call it, or whatever, that look really polished and have some effeminate ways and things like that. But when all your crowd is primarily the same, and it appears that you are all walking the same walk, talking the same talk type of thing, it makes one to think, okay, well, hey, this is what they like, this is what they do. But if that's what you like and that's what you do, live in your truth. You don't have to lie to get supporters, and you don't have to play church to get supporters either. You don't have to play church. That's the thing that really makes me sick about a lot of this mess. People play so much with the Lord and play so much with church that it puts a bad stigma on God, and he don't deserve it. It's like everybody is taking the focus away from God and putting on what they're doing. So now the church, the people that need the Lord are no longer looking to the hills from whence cometh their help, but they're looking at right in front of them and what's displayed before them. And that's not showing. That's like showing a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. So it's like you gotta wonder, what were some of his motives and why not just be flat out honest and just go on and live in your truth? Because if he's so confident he's still gonna have all these followers and all this money, these people still giving and niggas doing this, that, and the other, excuse my language, but that's what he says. Um, then just be honest, live in your truth. That's it. That's all I can say right now.
Yeah, I agree. I
I'll be
agree.
in and out.
That's fine. And I'm gonna drop the link just in case anybody wants to hit the link as well. I'm gonna share the link. But I just want to have to say, Charlie had made a point in the chat, and that's obviously how we feel over here. We don't care if people are gay, straight, trans, bi. We don't care, fluid. We just care if you are messing around with children.
Right.
And Larry has always been suspect because of the simple fact when he first came out and said, yeah, this happened to me, da 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 da. It had nothing to do with something somebody does to you little, because everybody don't grow up a predator. You know what I'm saying? Just because they were preyed on, everybody doesn't grow up and prey on people. So in this particular situation, though, when he had said, when I got older, I did try it again, and that could have been, sometimes when things are done to you as a younger child, you be like, dang, if it's the same sex, you're like, dang, am I like really this? Did they really take advantage? Did I want it all along? Is that who I truly am? So, some people go through that phase where they'll grow up and they'll be like, well, let me see if I really like it, if I'm volunteering. Voluntarily doing it and not forced, right? But when we start hearing all these accusations, and this goes back years, when we started hearing all these accusations by different people, different children, teenagers, even after some of them have grown up, it was like the same. It was like, I swear, it was like deja vu, because a lot of these people was telling the same doggone thing. And when people say the same doggone thing, it's like everybody can't be lying. Everybody can't be lying. So I always thought he was suspect to some degree. Of course, none of us was in those bedrooms, those living rooms, those hotels, or anywhere else with him. But he has always, to me, been suspect to a certain degree. And then today, when he was on Thais's panel, one thing he said to me stood out. You know what some people say when they always doing something wrong? They always say it's just money. They just want money. They're just trying to take my money. He's saying that, but he actually did owe Buddha that money. So I hate how he keeps saying he thinks that it has something to do with money. And then he even said on Thais's show, he said every time he he put people out of his house or he stopped paying people, he said that's usually when it starts. That's usually when, people will come out here and they'll try to say salacious things about me and whatnot. And that's what some people, like people who are way bigger on bigger platforms and bigger plateaus than him, like the Harveys, like the R. Kellys, like the all of them, all of the big major entertainers, the big head people, producers, all those people, they always say the same thing. People just trying to get my money. And then we, little small peons, we actually sometimes believe it. Oh, yeah, they rich and famous. They just trying to take all their money. They just want to get rich too. They just jealous. They're just jealous. Stuff like that. That's what it comes out to be a lot of the times. They're just jealous. They just want my money. And so that just made it seem a little bit more suspect for me, because we're talking about somebody who you owe money to. You said it on a recorded audio. Buddha came out here and said it. And then you said it again today on Thais. Yeah, I owe him some money. I did, tell him I would pay him a year's worth of this and da. Then, we fell out, and I said I ain't paying him shit else. But you already told him. That's like, I don't know how it went down, whether it was email, text message, inbox on Facebook. I don't know how, verbally or whatever. But you told him, and that was basically like a contract. You can't just break that contract, because if you did, y'all be in court right now with him trying to sue you for a year of wages. So yeah, he said he paid him, and he paid him everything that he owed him. And then he was like, okay, I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to wash my hands. But he always said, along with that, I just knew all along. I knew what he would do if I didn't pay him. And like Sislo just said before she jumped off of here, she said, well, the thing is about it, if you never done a lot of those things that people have say you done, if you never done anything wrong, why do you feel like you got to hide who you are? You got to continue to lie in the public and make other people seem like they are liars. And then on top of that, you continue to pay people, because he was still paying him before he actually agreed to pay for a year. He was still giving him money. Paying his car payments, all those kind of things. I think Larry Reid probably felt like, I got to keep him on the payroll. That's literally how he's making it sound like, I got to keep him on the payroll, even when he wasn't on the payroll and he was just a liaison. This was before Larry told him, I would pay a year of your expenses, pay you a year till you get on your feet or whatever. He was the liaison to the real production company who had started producing the Larry Reid Show. And he still was paying him. He said everything that he purchased within a day, he would reimburse him at the end of the day. And then I guess that got to be too much, too many transactions. So he said at the end of a week, I would basically be like, tell me everything you bought, and then I'll reimburse you. And that don't make sense to me, because he told him, I'm so sorry. I couldn't, Larry told him, thank you for everything you've done for me for all these years. I'm so sorry I couldn't write you a paycheck. I couldn't cut you a check. That the only thing I could do was handle your cost of living. It was more than cost of living. Cost of living is like house, bills, food, taking care of your children, car payment, car insurance, cell phone bill, Wi-Fi, things like that. The main things of the cost of living is the main things that we absolutely have to have, like necessities, right? Everything else is a want or a desire. Like he literally said, everything he purchased in a day. That could have been a candy bar. That could have been some McDonald's. That could have been went to the movies. That could have been, he just basically, everything that he purchased. He didn't say everything that he did for me or for my company. He was like, child, I had already hired a new production company. He was just like the go-between. You know what I'm saying? He was the liaison or whatnot. But again, like Sislo said, basically, if there's nothing ever to hide, and it has nothing to do with him being gay. It's like nothing. But what makes me see, one thing that, okay, I'm gonna jump right on into Buddha part 1. I'm gonna jump right into Buddha part 1, because one thing that Buddha has said, which is something I totally agree with, because I went through some things growing up in a Pentecostal church with a strong, heavy Bible thumping Christian mother. Okay. So some of the things that Buddha has spoke about when it comes to the church, like one thing he said was, the kind of person, they asked him like, what kind of person really attracted to you, or what kind of, something like that he was asked. Well, I think the questions that Buddha was asked, or that he was answered, I don't know if he wrote them down himself, or if people probably gave him a list of things that they wanted to know or that they want him to talk about. But one of them, he said, I really like those pastors, like the ones that like shout and stomp, the ones that like put their hands on you and make you sway in the spirit. You fall out, pass out on the floor, speaking in tongues. He said he does like those type of pastors. And that is like something that, will really got us children in the church when we was growing up. Like, I know I'm not the only person who was fascinated by those pastors like Buddha was, who be laying hands on people. Next thing you know, people just be falling out. Their makeup be all over the place. Their clothes be all over the place. If they got a wig on, they wig be all over the place. Like wig, like 2 pews over. And we was always fascinated, like, how could pastors do that? It can't be just in that oil that they putting on people's head. But he did say that was one of the reasons why he was fascinated with preachers. So I don't know if he probably had a fascination, if that had anything to do with his fascination in Larry Reid. I'm not sure. But he was with him for a long time, 13 years. And Buddha, he had told him before, that he didn't like how, he was treating him, or, he might have wanted more from Larry. Larry always told him, this is what it is. It's my wife, my family, my kids, God, my friends, my family, my bestie, Shamarco. And then you're last. Can you believe, though, that somebody would be kicking it with someone for 13 years? And they still felt like that the whole time? Like you're last on the totem pole. I'm just messing with you. Just, it just makes you feel like I could be with someone else. You're just taking up space in my day. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm bored. That's how he's making it sound. But 13 years? I agree with Buddha that it was probably a lot more than that. He said he never told him that he was in love with him. He said, I never told him that I was in love with him. I never even told him that I loved him like that. He was like, I guess he loved him like Christ loved you. Child. Like Christ says we're supposed to love our neighbors. I guess that's what Larry Reid was trying to say. Like he loved him, the name of the Lord, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. I love you in that way. Brother from another mother, something like that. I do believe that it probably was a little bit more serious than that. My thing though is you went all those years dating this guy and allegedly messing around with a plethora of other men. And for all those years, every time something would come out, now you're leading a church. You're leading a church online. You had a church, in-person church. You had churches. Then you got online church. You have people call you. You had prayer lines. People could call you and I need prayer for this, and you was charging them, like a lot of those big time pastors do. They charge you. They might, hey, I got this prayer cloth. It's only $2,000 for this prayer cloth. I'm gonna put a little oil on it, and I'm gonna sweat on it, and I'm gonna pray on it, and I'm gonna sleep on it. Then I'm gonna mail it to you, and everything that you want everything that you have will be increased. All your prayers will be answered. You will be blessed beyond measures. That's what those prayer clauses are for, that they be sending to people. But you did all that, and then the whole time you still making these people look bad and feel bad who's telling their truths that happen to do with you. Because was it that you were just ashamed? Were you ashamed? Or were you trying to really keep something in the dark besides that? And that's what I keep going back to. Like, it's one thing to be gay and you don't know if you're gay, or you might be gay for pay, something like that, and you're just messing around with somebody. But to be messing around with a plethora of people, the things that we've heard about that allegedly they say he's done, all the people who have came, people pressed charges, people went to court, people filed claims on him, people that sat on some of the biggest platforms telling their story, and they're all liars. They all just want your money, but you done lied about being gay forever, probably since you were a grown man. So how are we supposed to believe that you didn't lie on those other people if you lie about your own self for all these years? You got all these people following you, supporting you, giving you money, asking you to pray for them, believing in you, trusting in you, and all this kind of stuff. But we're supposed to believe that these other people are lying. Believe that those young boys were lying. It don't work like that, bro. It don't work like that. But some people, and I know I know a lot of gay people, they hate that sometimes people think that because you're gay and you're a man, because you're gay, that you automatically want to be with, somebody younger, much, much younger. That's not true. That's not true. Now there are some, just like ladies too. We had somebody go to jail. We had a couple of people go to jail in the last few years up here. One of them was a female who was in charge of a girls' drill team. And that girl was only like 20. She was real young, like 19, 20 years old. And she was messing around with the little kids that was like 5 and 6. Okay. And we had another lady who recently went to jail. So it's not just the men, but all men, just because they're gay, don't mean that they want somebody's little boy. But in this case, it might seem right, or it might seem plausible, believable, if he was withholding the fact that he was gay and was allegedly messing around with somebody's kids, because it probably would have been really, really, really more believable if people knew he was gay. You're gay, and these boys are making accusations. And they're all basically telling the same story. People be like, well, he is gay. He does like boys. Maybe this could be a possibility. And see, that's where people was like, oh, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe because he ain't gay. He ain't gay. He ain't gay. Why would he do something like that if he don't like boys? You know what I'm saying? But of course, a lot of us already knew he was gay. I mean, come on now. That man smacks his lips every 30 seconds. He smacks his lips. You know how girls be smacking their lips? I can't stand that. I don't know. That loud popping that people do with their mouth. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. That just reminds me of some ratchet hood rat shit. Every time I hear that shit, I mean, like, go back to the projects. But anyway. He smacks his lip. That's the way he talks, his mannerism, the way he moved, the way he talked, the way he act, the way he pops his mouth and all that kind of stuff. I mean, everybody, if you didn't think he was gay, then I don't know. Maybe you sleep under a rock and you don't know how gay people act. Maybe that was it. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I've been believing for years that he was gay. And if not gay, at least bi. But again, that's not an issue to most people. Most people don't care. Now, there are some people out there who do care that you are gay and you're a pastor. But then there are people who don't care. I mean, hell, we got gay churches now. We got gay pastors running gay churches. And why are they doing that? I can understand it. Because a lot of people are shunned by the church. A lot of people are shunned by the church. Even when I was growing up in a Pentecostal church, that stuff was shunned. But you know what? Their pocketbook wasn't shunned. Them being an organist wasn't shunned. Them leading the choir wasn't shunned. They would let them do anything in the church, include take their money. But then they would preach fire and brimstone, and they know they talking directly to them niggas. Sitting on the pew and playing that guitar, and the choir, and the organ, and the piano. They're talking directly to them. Talking directly to them. But when it comes to money, those pastors, sure, they don't care where they get their money from. They don't care. Drug dealer, pimp, gay, straight, bi. They don't care when it comes to the money. Sure, let some gay person come in there and pay their mortgage for the whole year. You think they're going to turn it down? They'll take their money and then the very next Sunday be preaching about that same person. You going to hell. You going to hell. But anyway, moving right along. Moving right. And what's up, bro? How you doing, boo? What's up, broski? You said what the hell you talking about, Cleta? Spell the toast. Spell the toast? What? I ain't never heard that before. Now, enough of that, Larry. Enough of that, Larry Reid. You can believe what you want. I believe that some of that stuff is partially true. Maybe all, as far as I'm concerned, about things that he allegedly done. I don't think it's all about money. I really don't. Now, I'll say this. If somebody was to do something to one of my kids or something, and I find out, oh, I'm taking you to court, we suing. You are liable for pain, suffering, damages, everything. And I'm going to try to get you locked up. Okay, so, hey, money does become a part of the play. But I don't think that necessarily these fellas are just trying to get in his pocketbook. I don't believe that. Not at all. Not at all. But anywho, let's move on to Buddha's story, part 104. Now, and everybody, please make sure you're liking and sharing the video. And again, I'll drop the link after I'm done speaking. I'll probably be done speaking in about 5-10 minutes. I just want to talk about, again, about something that Thais said. Now, Thais, when I was watching him earlier, before he even, I think it was afterwards. I think it was after Larry dropped off the panel. I think Thais said that Buddha's story was just going to be a big old nothing burger. I got to give it to you, Thais. It wasn't what everybody thought it was going to be. Everybody thought part 1 was going to start off with a bang. Everybody thought it was going to be nothing but Larry Reid, and that's what he was going to be discussing. Something to deal with him and Larry Reid. Now, I don't know about part 2, 3, and 4, but part 1 was definitely not about Larry Reid live. I wouldn't call it a nothing burger though, because it was really entertaining. Not entertaining as in ha ha he he, but interesting, entertaining, real life stuff, real life drama, real life pain, from him growing up in the church that he grew up in. And a lot of those things, a lot of people deal with in church. It don't matter if you're Catholic, Baptist, Kojic, which Buddha, I'm not Buddha, but yeah, Buddha. I'm sorry. I was about to get him mixed up with Thais. Buddha grew up in Kojic. I grew up in Pentecostal. And people grow up in we ain't even gonna get on the Catholics, okay? How many priests do they put in prison? Man, it was 1 minute where they was putting more priests in prison than the drug dealers. I was like, it ain't gonna be no more priest to priest, okay? Oh Lord, what they gonna do without all the priests? But yeah, they was going to prison like crazy. They messing around with everybody kids, okay? But yeah, a lot of churches you go to and you deal with things growing up in church, and it makes you either hate church or have a big disdain for church, especially like those type of ministers. Because one thing I remember, child, I remember growing up in a church. See, the thing that Buddha went through, which a lot of us went through, hey, we was bored that we used to get our butt toe up. I done said many times, we should have had CPS at our door, probably at least once a month. Most of my friends should have had CPS at their door at least once a month. That's just how it went down back in the day. I mean, back in the day, you could beat your kid. You could send them to school with a black eye. You could sit. Child, have you ever seen somebody get beat by a switch? Don't get one of those switches off one of them weeping willow trees and they braid that shit together, or they get whipped by a stitching cord, or something like that, and they have whelps all over them, and they go to school the next day, and it's all bad. Their legs, they wearing long sleeve pants, turtlenecks when it's 150 degrees outside, because they done got their ass whipped again. Child abuse. A lot of us grew up, it was child abuse, and I don't care what nobody say. I remember one of my aunties threatened to call the law on my grandmama, and she threatened to call child abuse people, the child abuse cops, on something she had did to one of the grandkids. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, because I always told my mama, if that lady hit me or beat me like she do them other kids, I swear to God, I swear before God, I swear for God, I swear for God. And my mom used to say, don't you say that about your grandmother. That's not nice. And I'm like, it ain't nice to get your ass with a broom either, or a stitching cord, or I mean, shoot, it ain't like Buddha was talking about. He got hit. He used to get punched. He couldn't eat. He couldn't swallow. He couldn't even talk after one of his mother's beatings. And then another time when his mother beat him and his sister, she beat them with stitching cords, and they was bleeding. They had welts. And then you go to school the next day, and you can say stuff like, "Oh, I fell down the stairs," or "I fell out a tree," or "I fell out." Oh, like this one time. Oh, they could have used this one, because one time with my oldest son, oh God, we talk about this to this day. One time, my oldest son, I got two boys by two different guys. So I was dating the second guy, which is the father of my second son at the time, and we was at that guy's family's house. And my son, I only had that oldest one then, and he was in the back playing in the backyard with a whole bunch of other kids, and he had threw his hat, I don't know why, but threw his hat in the air. It got stuck on a tree limb. So he thought that he could crawl up the tree, get the hat. He ended up falling down off the tree, and he fell along a fence, like the wire fence, the what do you call it? Those fences, the wire fence. And they had those little prickly things across the top. And his arm scraped across the fence. And when he came in the house crying and bleeding, I was like, oh my God, somebody fix it, Jesus, fix it. Because man, that looked like your ass been whipped with switches and all kind of shit, sticks. Oh, it was bad. I was like, oh, I'm going to jail. Oh, they ain't gonna believe me. I'm up there like, My boyfriend at the time and his family, oh my God, they was dying. They was cracking up. They're like, Tanya, calm down. I'm like, no, hell to no. See, that's how innocent people go to jail. When they think they did something to their kid. They ain't gonna believe, oh yeah, he threw his head up in the air. But that's a good one, that somebody could try if their parents whooped them like that. Oh, I just fell out the tree and landed on a fence. Anyway, but a lot of people at that time, they felt like Buddha, like, okay, we go to these churches, they up here preaching, they ministering. Some of them act like they can see the future. They can predict what's happening. God gave them visions. And a lot of times I'll be like, where's the vision that you should have got when such and such was happening? Or like certain people in the church be going through stuff. Where was that vision? Well, the only vision that you got is like people giving you more money and God giving them these blessings that don't ever happen. Not saying I don't believe in blessings, but we do have those false liars and prophesiers. False liars and prophesiers. And a lot of the people who was back in the gap in the 80s and 90s, a lot of them was prophet liars. They knew what it took. They was like pimps. Oh shit, I can get money putting these hoes out on the street. Oh, they got this new thing called crack. They like the drug dealers. They got this new thing called crack. I can make a lot of money, like get all these people addicted and all this stuff like that. Pastors, some of them are the same way. They get you hooked on that faith. They get you hooked on that prophet line, and they have you hooked. And you paying all your money, and at home your kids ain't got no food, the lights off, the cable off, the phone off. Child, I can tell y'all some stories, and I have told y'all some stories before, but this ain't about me. Okay, this ain't about me. But that what I'm trying to say is, a lot of people who grew up in that type of environment, our parents was they sometimes they went too far. It didn't mean that they didn't love you, but they didn't know no other way, and a lot of that was traits that they picked up from their parents. And their parents picked it up from their parents. And then you go so far back, we going back to slavery, right? And so, being beaten every day, hung, killed, murdered, all that kind of stuff. It goes through the family lines. And it's 2024. And people are still doing that. In some families, it still goes on. Some families, people still get beaten like they are runaway slave. And their family members think it's okay. Well, it happened to me. It happened to my parents. They don't know no other way to parent besides beating you half to death. Now, that's my point on that. But yeah, he was saying that he felt like the beatings groomed him to always be on pins and needles, to always do stuff the right way, to always be like situationally aware. It also trained him to internalize and departmentalize a lot of things, and just to always do right, to be a people pleaser, to charm, to be deceptive, things like that. And I think the reason why he hit on those points, we are going to hear about that in the upcoming parts 2, 3, and 4. And I believe that it'll have a lot to do with his relationship with Larry Reid. So if y'all haven't watched that, part 1 of 4, I'll put the link I'll pin it. Matter of fact, I'll pin it in the comment sections under the video. But basically, he said he learned, just to deceive people, or just to, even if things weren't going your way, just to act like it. Just to act like you're okay with a lot of things that's not going your way. And that's how a lot of us, if you want to look back in hindsight, I bet you a lot of us can say that is also what being beaten taught us as well as a child, to always try to be perfect. Because if you weren't perfect, then it was trouble. Child, I can tell you. Now, I ain't never abused my children. I'm going to tell you that. But I done had teachers before call me and say, no, not call me, but in like parent-teacher conferences, they'll be saying, ma'am, I know you discipline your kids, because let us say, get halfway into saying, we gonna call your parents if you don't stop clowning. Oh, they be getting some act right. Please don't call my mama. I'm sorry. I do whatever you say. I don't want to get in trouble. I want to child. I ain't abused them, but they got discipline. I say that they got discipline, and I would take stuff away from them. They games. I could have just bought them a pair of new Jordans yesterday for basketball and let them cut up and act out in school or something like that. I put them Jordans in the back of my trunk, and they be walking around in them old tennis shoes from last season. Talk about Mom, this is embarrassing. I can't. There ain't no more tread on the bottom of this shoe. Oh well, you better slip and slide your ass all in that classroom and act like you got some god doggone sense. Child, oh bro, I wasn't talking about you. I didn't even see your comment. I'm talking about pinning the link to whatchamacallit show, to Buddha's show. But yeah, I had said earlier that I was going to put the link down, after I did my little commentary. But yeah, I'm gonna send the link again, to the StreamYard if anybody want to jump on the link. But Charlie, you laughing? Charlie, you already know, man. I know you probably, you from down south. I know you probably grew up with a parent who spanked you too. Sure, I believe in spankings. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe in beatings, like being like beaten to death, abused. I don't believe in that. Nobody. Nope. And one thing my kids could tell you, when they used to think that they were being mistreated, I kept CPS, the magnet. I kept the CPS magnet on the refrigerator every house we ever lived in. If you ever think you're being abused, call the number. It's right there. They walk past that refrigerator, look at that sign, and go in there and get some cereal or some milk, make them some bologna sandwiches or something. I'm like, it's right there. Ain't nobody stopping you. Ain't nobody stopping you. Shit. But yeah, I definitely understood where Buddha was coming from. That a lot of pain, that he received from his mother, it made him have some disdain for the church because his mother and father were big time in the church, and he was raised in church. And so when you have a parent say, I'm doing this, the Lord instructed me to do this, or I'm whooping you because this is what God says, or I'm doing this because this will make you better. And, a lot of times, that's the story. I'm going to drop the link right after I tell this story. But when I talk about visions and these prophet liars, there was a church we went to, and I was like, I ain't gonna say I was like an innocent little angel or nothing. I did shit, but the shit I was being accused of, I wasn't doing. Okay. But one day, my pastor and people who watch my show, who went to church with me, who are close to me, if they watching, they can back me up on this. But one day, I was in church, minding my own business, sitting around my friends. You know how you in church with your friends and you talking, you gossiping, you passing candy, passing notes, stuff like that. And the pastor started calling names, and I was one of them names. And they called us up to the front of the pulpit, well, in front of the pulpit, and had us stand in front of the pulpit and had us stand in a straight line. And they was like, Lord has showed me that these girls right here is having sex. And y'all mamas, y'all need to watch them and punish them and keep an eye on them because they out there doing things. They out there being devilish. They being fast. They been, whatever you could think of to describe a young hot girl, right? So I'm up there listening like, this bitch about to get me fucked up. Like she's about to get me. What the fuck is she talking about? I had never had sex before that time. Never had sex. I didn't know what it felt like. My cherry wasn't pop, push, tapped. Oh, I was a virgin. Like a virgin. I was a virgin. And for her to have us standing up there, and our mamas, and I can say a lot of them was my really, 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 really close friends, and we were virgins. Some of us wasn't, but most of us that she had up there in front of the church we were virgins. But of course, when I got home, I got beat. And I'm up here pleading my case. I don't know what she's talking about. The vision is wrong. The vision is not visioning. She's wrong. She's liar. Oh, you calling the pastor? You calling the child of God? You don't speak on the, what's that Bible verse, bro? We both grew up in church, but I can't remember that verse. But thou shalt not speak on the prophet of God, or put your tongue on the man of God, or whatever. I can't remember the verse verbatim, but it was something like that. Like when he say, it groomed him to try to be perfect and try to, internalize and departmentalize and always have like this face, this poker face. Like every person you're around, you got a different face to please people. It taught you to be deceptive. And that's why a lot of us grew up being involved in mischief and being deceptive. And then getting into shit that we really shouldn't be getting into. And that is me and a lot of people that are hung around. But I'm gonna drop this link if anybody wants to hit the link. I done said about what I have to say. I done about an hour of talking. And if anybody else wants to join me on the panel, you can hit the link. Otherwise, I'm about to wrap it up and head on out. But I will say, hey Lisa, how you doing? What's up? How you doing? You said I got my booty spanked. You said got that look like Kuta Kente and the Django mixed in one. That's how they used to beat. That's how some parents used to beat you back in the day. I swear. For real, for real.
Hey, beautiful girl. I got spanked with everything you could think of. And that's why I'm a good girl today.
Girl, that I'm a good girl today, but I did go on a path of devilment. I'll put it that way. I put it on a path around the time of maybe I want to say 14. I just was like I didn't give a fuck. You go to I'm always getting in trouble for this, for that. Shit I shouldn't get in trouble for. I was like, fuck it.
Might as well do it if you're getting accused of it.
Exactly. I mean, that was my mentality. And I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only kid. A lot of my peers was the same way. Fuck that shit. Mom think we doing this. Dad think we doing this. Let's get it. Let's go. So that's kind of what, and we were deceptive. We were doing a lot of things behind our parents' back that they wouldn't approve of. But it was like, fuck it. You think I'm doing it anyway, especially with these prophet-lying pastors in the church trying to tell you what your kid's doing, and they don't know shit. They just want your money. Child.
I'm going to tell you this. My mama would have cussed that woman out because here's the thing about my mom and dad. If they looked me dead in the face and asked me a question, they knew for a fact I would tell them with 100% the truth, right? And they believed me because they knew I never lied. Like, if you look me directly in the face and you ask me a question, I'm not going to lie to you. If you ask me a question right now, I'm going to tell you the 100% truth. That's just the kind of person I am. I've always been that way. My mom and daddy would have been up in that pulpit cussing that person out in the middle of church. My mom would have been trying to fight that woman. Don't you dare talk about my daughter like that.
And see, that's how I am with my kids. Like, there are certain things that you could tell me about mine, and I know you lying. But there's also things you could tell me about mine. I'm like, yeah, he did that. I believe that. Yeah, he did that. But yeah, when we were growing up back then, it was a lot of us. It was a lot of us not well-to-do people in the church we went to. A lot of us was from the projects, on welfare, Section 8, stamps, all that kind of systematic shit, you know what I'm saying? And the pastor at the time took advantage of a lot of people in that church. And I mean, shit, they was good. They was good. And some people couldn't see through the bullshit. And some of our parents couldn't see through the bullshit. And I don't know. Maybe I just got this sixth sense, this third eye or something, but I can always see through bullshit. But yeah, a lot of the shit that I experienced growing up, a lot of the worst times of my life was in church. And that's why when I grew up, the last place I wanted to step foot was in church, but I did eventually get back to church as an older adult. But I went around church to church. I was hopping churches, visiting church. I was even on Facebook. Anybody got a church you can recommend? Because I like being part of a church. I believe in God. I like going to be around people who have the same beliefs and praising God, and it's like a community. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And so I do like church, the singing, the stomping, the shouting. I like that stuff. But I made sure that when I grew up, I just didn't go wherever and sit under whoever.
Facts. You got to find that place that feels like home to you. Like when you walk through those doors, it should feel like a relief instead of a burden. That's just my saying. But like,
Absolutely.
did you hear about the Brooke situation with Lemons? I know that with your daddy being sick, you ain't been on the streets. You know what I'm saying?
I'm listening here and there, and I had heard something like, I guess a while back, it had been something said about Brooke's husband was abusing her son, had hit him in the. I found this just so I don't know. It ain't nothing funny about abuse, but when they said that he hit him where?
In the kidney.
In the kidney. And somebody said, was that Brooke who said, how do you know what the kidney is? Can you see the kidney? Can you?
Yeah, she straight up said that, trying to excuse it away. I was hot about it. Now you can look in that chat and see me. I'm going off in that chat. And I don't get in beefs like that. You know me. Like I don't be beefing. I don't normally if I ain't got nothing to say and I don't like a subject, what do I usually do? I just turn away, right? But that subject, it kind of hit me in my feels a little bit. I'm like, and
what's up, bro? How you doing, boo?
Hey, bro.
I just couldn't believe that it was like, I don't know, Charlie. I'm one of those people over here who feel like a lot of people over here pick and choose what they go to battle for, and like the way that whatchamacallit was riding Brooke. What's his name? Code. What's his name?
Code.
Code. Yeah, the way that he was riding Brooke and going off of her and all this kind of stuff. I didn't think it was right. I mean, he was really like riding her. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Something didn't seem right with how. I don't know. I don't know.
I was there during that live, and I'm gonna tell you what set him off. He works with kids. That's actually his job. I don't know if you know that, but
yeah, that's what they say. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was brought up because she started. I don't like uppity either for the same reason. Like, so if I find out you abusing kids, I'm like, I ain't cool with you no more. I don't like you no more. That's just me. But so I don't like her either. But she's like the pot calling the kettle black. Like, you can't be saying, oh, she's a bad mom, she did this, but you allowed a man to hit a 6-year-old. It wasn't like he was 15, 16, 17, 18 trying her or trying the dad. He was 6 years old, a small child.
Right.
And he supposedly punched him in the kidney and in the heart or something like that. Like punch him in the chest. I'm like, you don't punch a kid that's little anyway. You spank their bottom and set them down and tell them they're, explain to them what they did and put them in timeout, whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But you don't punch, hit, kick, slap. You know what I'm saying? That's abuse. Any way you look at it. I don't think I think he should have stopped after a moment, but he was right to be upset as much as he was. And then Brooke tried to play victim, but she was steadily antagonizing this man. I'm like, if you want somebody to say, hey, this is a man, don't talk to me, then don't talk to him. You get what I'm saying? Like, if a man come up here and attack me, I'm just going to shut up and go, so you going to let a man attack me? Cool, whatever. And I'm going to drop and I'm going to go about my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to
I get what you're saying. I just still feel like a lot of people over here, they pick and choose what they want to get pissed off about. Like, earlier today, I was watching Bree, and they over there going off about this dude over in the black sector, about something he done did 50 years ago to a person that he ended up marrying. And I'm like, we got a lot of people over here that had done some crazy stuff around that area. But it just seems like it's just certain people that people will really go at. And some of these situations be the same type of situations. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you're going to go at it on one perv, line them all up. If you don't go on, like all these people who got all these CPS cases, and it's a lot of them from sector to sector. A lot of CPS cases, line them all up. You know what I'm saying? I just think that sometimes people pick and choose because they trying to make content out of people. That's
Oh,
just how I feel.
I totally agree with that because it's the same thing. Like you have people who are still supporting uppity, but yet they're downing
Thank
Brooke,
you.
or vice versa. I'm like, you gotta either say abuse is no good, and so which each person who is either there is definite proof of abuse is no good, or all of them are good because you can't pick and choose. Oh, this one, this didn't. No,
It's
no.
like a sin, Charlie. It's like the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
They're all bad. From what God said back in the Old Testament, we can go to hell for every single one of them. But what do a lot of people like to say? People will
Cherry
go to
picking.
hell for being gay.
They like to cherry pick.
All the other sins in the Bible, the only one they really preach on, even in church, that'll get you in hell, is being gay. So I have the same feeling like that. Like Uppity can get up there. Uppity, she talks about everybody's parenting. I be just sitting here like, I know this bitch, and I don't mean like bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Yeah, I know
talking,
what you mean.
but she be talking about everybody, and you got fucking public cases where your children, they were maybe not beaten as far as we know, and I don't even know about that because we heard her child get hit, the autistic one, online while she was online. So I can't even say she wasn't beaten though. But see where I'm going?
Yep, that's why I feel the same way
We
about
heard
both
that.
cases.
We
That's the
didn't
pot calling
see
the
Brooks.
kettle black.
Right. We didn't see Brooks. We didn't hear her man hit her baby. We didn't
No,
see him
it's
hit the baby. We going by what they said on the show. But
well,
heard.
Brooke
We
said it
heard.
herself.
But that's
That's
what I'm saying. We going by what they said on the show. That's what I'm saying.
true.
But we actually heard Uppity.
That
And then
is
she
true.
tried to, oh, well, that was something. No, you hit that little girl. She just started screaming, and we heard the hit. We heard the hit. And that's an autistic child.
I believe they're both, wrong in their aspects because Brooke was trying to excuse it away. Yes, a father can discipline his son. You right on that. You know what I'm saying? But you should step in and say, hey, now if she did step in and tell him, hey, you went a little too hard, you're not supposed to do that as a mom, then I'm in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't say if she did that or not. She didn't say, she just said it was handled years ago. Now, if she, went up to him and said, hey, you're just a little too rough on him, don't do that again. Spank him, but don't do that. Because sometimes in the heat of moment, stuff happens. So if she just, went up to him and said, hey, or had a conversation with him away from the child, don't do that again. You went too hard. Don't do that stuff again. That's not
And
cool.
it probably was handled. It probably, and when she say handled, we don't know. Brooke probably would never tell us if it went a step higher, right?
Yeah.
But when she said it probably was handled, I believe that it wasn't just no, I know you didn't hit my baby like that. Because I would let me keep it cute. Y'all know
Yo, crazy just about came out.
Child. I'm just telling you, my kids know when they was little, this was before I ever had a strap. I said I would go to the closest pawn shop and get me one and be like, pew, pew, pew. They knew. Their mama was like half crazy. So I don't play about my kids. Now, what extent it went to, we don't know. We don't know. But I don't know how their life was up until now. She claimed they broke up now. I don't, you know what I'm saying? People tell us what they want to tell us on here.
That is very true.
You know what I'm saying? So we take a lot of shit that people tell us and we can make up a whole new story. That's how they do it on here on YouTube. But when it comes to that, yeah, she said it. She co-signed, her dude did that shit. But again, like I said, why ain't nobody yelling and screaming at shit? She able to get on everybody's platform. She able to enter all the contests. She ain't got no problem with nobody when it comes to the abuse that she actually got paperwork for. Do her man got paperwork? We don't know.
As
And I'm
far
sure
as
people
she
tried to
said,
look.
no. She said that they did call on her, but nothing was founded.
And see, that's what I'm saying. We don't know. Brooke might not, but if you just gonna willingly tell somebody, oh yeah, CPS, we got a CPS case. You would never say that on here. Somebody would have to find it. And then they would put it on here like uppity. She would have never told us, I got a CPS case. Matter of fact, she kept denying it for a long time. And then she disappeared for a minute.
She did. I'm gonna say this though, both of them need to not comment on somebody else's parenting if you know that you've had a mess up in the past and you ain't perfect.
Thank you.
You just can't be talking about it. That's what ticked me off about the situation was that the reason I kept getting more angry in that chat was because it was like you're steadily trying to excuse away instead of saying this simple fact, and everybody wouldn't have been so mad. Yeah, that stuff was said on a live. Either A, it wasn't true, or B, y'all don't know what I did behind closed doors. I handled it. It never happened again.
And it's not our business to know exactly how she handled it either.
Well, we wouldn't know about it at all if she didn't bring it to the streets.
Right. That's true. That's true. No. What I'm saying is, and you're right about that. So let me just make sure. It has always been, if you bring it up, we have the right to speak about it. So I don't mean that part. I don't mean it ain't none of our, I'm saying as far as to the extent we can't force anybody to tell us something they don't want to tell us. That's what I was trying to say. Like,
oh, I got you.
Yeah, but of course, it like some of the shit I talk about on here. Like the damn prophet lies that we had growing up in church and the shit they used to do and say to the parishioners. Somebody might make a girl, did you hear the hood table? They had some old skanky pastor. You know, back like if you bring it up on here, we can talk about it. And we just gotta deal with the consequences, you know.
Can I okay, with the Larry Reid situation, he wasn't the guy that VS exposed years ago, was it?
Yes.
He was? Okay, I thought I wasn't tripping.
Yes.
I remember his expose. She exposed him way before this other stuff come out.
Thank you.
Yeah, she knew about it way back then. She tried to tell people, and they almost crucified and hung her on a cross for that.
That's how they is. That's how that camp is. Whenever somebody come out and say something, he will take you to court. He will send out a cease and desist. He will do all this kind of shit. Been lying all these years saying he ain't gay. Now, but did y'all hear, bro? Did y'all hear what this fool said on Thais' show today?
What he said?
Y'all sitting down?
I'm sitting down, girl. I'm sitting down. I'm ready.
Okay, now when he was trying to make excuses for why Buddha's really coming out here giving out all the tea, because he's saying Buddha just, he just mad because they ain't no longer together and all this kind of stuff. And Larry Reid said, well, maybe the relationship between them wouldn't have lasted for no 13 years if he didn't always keep his mouth and his ass wide open. Now, this is coming from Pastor Larry Reid. Pastor Larry Reid. What kind of pastor says shit about that? And then he tells people, if y'all don't want to keep following me or still belong to a part of my church, once he finally admitted that all these gay rumors all these years are true. Yeah, we had a relationship. Yeah, I was married. Yeah, but we weren't together. It was 13 years, but I really didn't love him. But when he said, if you didn't have your mouth and ass wide open, this is coming from a pastor.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, that's
I was gagging. He said it on a public platform. I'm like, what?
That's a lot of openings, ass and mouth. That's a double wide.
13 years.
He's been exposed about being gay for years, and he kept trying to deny it. And people knew, people knew it. We all knew. You could tell by the way his mannerisms was. There were certain things. I could get one of my gay friends to come up and go, "Oh yeah, he gay." You know what I'm saying?
It's the mouth popping. Like I was saying, you know how gay people and some girls too, they make that noise that I can't stand with their mouth.
I said smacking and kicking.
He does that all the time, like every other
popping and ticking.
But yeah, I
popping
knew he
into.
was gay all along. But like I said earlier, Charlie, do y'all kind of feel why I said what I said? Like he probably didn't want people to know that he was gay because of the allegations, because he tried to make people believe that he don't like men. And I don't even like men. These are not it's false. It's not facts. It didn't happen. I don't like boys. I don't like men.
Oh, so he did an Andrew Caldwell. He's not gay no more.
He know it wasn't even that. He was never gay. He was never gay. He's always stood 10 toes down on that. I ain't gay. I don't like men. I don't sleep with men. I tried it once. I got abused when I was younger. That was against his will, like a lot of people. But when he got older, he said he tried it once to see if it was really something that he might like if he did it willingly, and he didn't like it. And that was as a young adult. And ever since then, every time somebody comes out and say that dude gay, he's sleeping with boys, he's sleeping with whatever, he denied it all these years that he was gay. So I felt like, and a lot of people feel like, you were hiding something else.
Oh,
No,
he might be get crucified and cooked at the same time.
most straight men that I know don't have to adamantly, say that they're a man, that they're not gay, that all these other things. Like they're like, and call me what you want, I don't care, because they're so secure in their masculinity that they don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Even if somebody accuses me, I go, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they'll walk away. They don't
I
care.
feel you. Yep, you're right.
That lets you know when somebody adamantly denies it and gets to the point that they start being hateful towards gay people, that a lot of times they're masking that they are. 90% of the time. Like there's still that 10%, they're just always like that, even if they're straight. But most of the time, I'd say at least 80. I gave it 90 a while ago, but at least 80% of the time, they're hiding the fact that they're actually gay.
And that's why I'm glad you put that down in the chat, Charlie, because I think you know me and our platform pretty well enough to know that
We
we
don't
don't
care.
dislike anybody for being, you do what you want to do, because I have probably did 1,000,001 sins in my lifetime and probably do another 500,000 before the rapture. So, I don't judge nobody. Hey, now if you're doing something that's hurting people or something like that, you know, that's a different story. But that could be gay or straight. Anybody could do anything to a child. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Gay or straight.
when we both go up to the pearly gates, I'm not going to be judged based on your book of life. I'm going to be judged on based on what I do. So do what you want in your life, because I'm not the one that's going to pay for it, and I'm not going to judge you because it's not my right to. It's judge ye and ye not be judged. And ye without sin cast the first stone, baby. I'm not without sin, so I'm not casting no stones. I'm not throwing none.
Why you think on here, Charlie? Why you think on here sometimes some things I don't even be doing commentary on? Like, okay, I'll just say, just for example, who do people say is the biggest person on this platform? And they call them all kind of names all the time. Yeah. I don't talk about big people. Why? Because I'm big. It's like you call the kettle black. Like, don't throw
Yeah.
stones at brick houses. Like, there's certain things that I wouldn't dare do, and that's even in my real life. I'm not gonna talk about a crackhead if I smoke crack. I'm not gonna talk about a thief if I'm a thief. It's this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like it's the pot calling kettle back. You can't call nobody fat if you're fat yourself. Like,
Exactly. But we have people on here who do it all the time. That fat bitch, and
But
you
it
like,
do
ooh.
take a crackhead to know another crackhead.
Oh yeah,
true.
it do. But I can't talk about your ass. And well, he smoked more rocks than me. I'm
Actually,
gonna
yeah,
do
you
it. I'm gonna
can,
do
because
it.
that means that he's more of a fiend. You just a crackhead. How about that?
That is
I'm a
funny.
social crack. I only smoke crack socially. You know how some people with cigarettes, that used to be the thing back in the day. I only smoke socially.
Well,
I only
hey,
drink socially.
life is it's fucked up, but trust me, you got some people that you would be like, damn, I didn't know it was like that. They just scored again. Oh, they about to damn.
Yeah, all I
Yeah,
have to say
that's
is I don't want to be around no crackheads, okay? I don't want to be around no
you'd be
crackheads.
surprised, cause they everywhere.
I know they are. That's why I don't be around them.
I mean, no, they everywhere. Even
I
your
got
local.
crackheads in my family. Hey, I know a lot of crackheads. I
Some
don't be
of these
around.
Walmart greeters is crackheads.
Let me put it this way: if
I
you
go to
cracking,
Walmart.
if your crack is cracking, I don't want to be around you. Now there are
That's
some
too
people who
bad.
are crackheads who is like drunks
Oh,
and alcohol. They're functional crackheads. They can smoke $1,000 out of their check and still get up every morning and go to work
see,
and
that's doing
be
too
and be
much.
the employee of the month. You know
That's
what I'm
too much.
saying? But if your crack
That's
is
too
cracking,
much.
you
Why
over
would
here
you
trying to
work?
jack motherfuckers and you trying to steal and do all kind of other shit. I don't want them the
Why
type of
would
ones
you
I'm talking.
work to just buy some crack to smoke?
What did he say, Charlie?
He said something about buying some crack. That's all I know. Because he went to laughing.
I said, why would you work to make
But that's what a
$1,000?
lot, bro. Come on now, don't act like you don't know. Some people work to smoke. Like they gotta feed their habit. They don't want to turn into a prostitute. They don't want to
Man,
rob.
that's
They want to
fucked
rob the liquor
up.
store.
So
If they
basically,
don't work,
one whole check pay the bills. The other one is you got this everything. You ain't buying nothing, no furniture, no nothing, no food. You just smoke. You
who
just
was that?
buy.
Who was that? Who was that actor?
Well, at least he got a house. He can smoke his crack in.
But
That's the
listen,
key.
listen. Who was that actor? Oh,
I'm
bro,
definitely crack house. My bad.
who was it? That older actor, and he said his wife didn't even know he was smoking dope. He would like be high as you know what, come home, pass out. Like, who was that?
Oh, Mike Epps.
No, it wasn't Mike Epps.
It was a white dude, wasn't it?
No, he was black.
Oh.
He
Oh
said he
God.
smoked. He was smoking.
I think Dave Chappelle said that. I thought someone Mike Epps said.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Mike. Mm-mm. I can't
Shit.
remember. It'll come to me another time.
But
But yeah,
that's still a lot of. That's still a
and
lot
he
of
was
crack
paying
smoking.
bills. He was around his family every day, paying bills, all that shit. But he would take all his money that he had left over. He would smoke it up, and his wife had no idea that he
Oh,
was
I know
smoking
which
the
one I'm
money.
thinking of. It was a white dude, but it was alcohol, not crack.
Yeah, oh, well, see,
Yeah, that's.
see, Tyler, you trying to put other things on other people. You know you wrong.
That's a lot. That's a lot of this. That's a lot of pillow puff. That's
But you
just
know,
too
that's how they be in the B sector. I don't want to put nothing on them that ain't really.
nigga. Everybody put it on everything else.
Child, I
On
don't want
mama
to
and
put child
them.
abuse
Everybody,
on you if you ain't really a child abuser.
yeah, everybody put it on mama and them, and everybody else and them, and all the other NIMs, and everything is in the NIM. Mama
And
and
them
them,
to
the
be them.
pastor and them, church
Oh,
and them, the
yeah.
hood and them.
Y'all know that girl that went viral for putting her kids up to CPS?
Oh
They just
wow.
did, they just did an interview with her not long ago. They found out some very interesting things about that girl.
I heard a YouTuber talking about her the other day. Now, what's the deal on that?
Okay, VS was with the girl who did an interview on her, and a lot of like these two people who knew her personally came up, and they say that she's done this before. She's dropped her kids off of one of the baby daddies or something and just left them for and one of the family members for like a whole year. She's 27 and got five kids by three different baby daddies.
See, she doing too much.
And they said that basically those people are saying she's lying about a lot of the stories and stuff like that, and she may be involved with the murder of her baby daddy. Because you know you
Ooh.
got to watch what certain words you say on YouTube because they'll think your stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they were saying that the grandmother of that child did want that child, but the reason she gave them to CPS is to keep the baby daddies away from the children. She claimed one of the baby daddies SA'd her twice, but she then let him keep the kids.
What?
Yeah, and it was stated that he was watching porn around the children. This story is crazy, girl. This story is it's got so many twists and turns. It'd be like, what? Huh? What? And then she
They
talking about
all
she
need to
going to
be cooked.
school. There's 2 different schools. She can't figure out which one it is, whether it be nursing or music. She's trying to start a rap career.
Yeah,
See, that's
yeah.
what I heard, that she was starting a rap career. And they was like, how you start a whole rap career and you ain't got none of your kids? You just drop your kids off so you can go rap?
Need to put her some folk need to be put in an asylum. They don't need to go to jail. They don't need to go. They need to bring Richard Young back.
Oh, Richard Young. Oh my God, Charlie, that was a place here where they sent all the crazy people back in the day. All the crazy people, Charlie, went to
In
Richard
the
Young.
state.
We
In the
had a
state,
place
not
like
the
that.
city. Richard
Mm-hmm.
Young, but you already know they say you gonna take your ass to Richard Young, it's a wrap. You going to the
Man,
nut war.
when they so-called abused their funds and ran out of funds, we got all kind of people running around here like,
Yeah, they was abusing the abusers. They was tripping, man.
yes, it was a lot. But that's crazy, Charlie. So is this lady, she's a YouTuber?
She does not have, as far as I know, a YouTube channel. She has an Instagram, and she went
Oh,
viral on Instagram or
Yeah,
TikTok,
that's
may have been both. She live streamed herself at the CPS office saying, someone needs to come help me take care of these kids.
what?
I'm fixing to drop them off to CPS. I can't. I need a break. I need help. I need help. And so at first I felt sorry for the girl because I thought, single mom, 5 kids. I didn't know her age at the time and all this other stuff, which I didn't care about. If she was saying she's trying to go to school, get her life right. She lost her job because something to do with she couldn't get childcare and was basically about to lose it all. So at first I feel sorry for her. I'm like, oh my God, what if I was put in that predicament if I didn't have great parents and, family around and stuff. Then I was like, then when I started hearing more and more of the story, I'm like, oh, she was on Nick at Night. They dropped her Cash App and all that. And uh, a lot of people are saying she's doing this for money, attention, and to get her rap career started. And she's done this before with the kids. She's an ex-stripper, blah, blah, blah. All kind of stuff about the girl. I don't know. It's so much. But they're going to do another interview, a part
Wow.
2 soon. They're going to do a part 2
So
soon.
is VS going to interview her, or did VS interview her with somebody else? Is that what happened?
It was on Judge Fifi's channel.
Oh. And then didn't VS join her for the interview? I saw something posted.
Yeah, she joined her for the interview. She was the co-host. She co-hosted with her and whatnot, and they're supposed to do a part 2. So, and this time they're supposed to have the baby daddies, one of the baby daddies, I think mom to come up.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's been drama, girl. It's been drama.
What sector is this? Is that in that Patrice sector or whatever?
Latrice Allen. No, I think technically Judge Fifi may be the mommy sector.
Oh, see, I don't know. Don't give me the line.
Girl, don't give me the line neither. I may be lying. I could have swore she was mommy sector, but I may be wrong.
I'll have to check it out because, like I said, I ain't really been watching a lot. I've been dropping down here and there in different people's chats, but I ain't really been watching a lot at all. I think the last video I watched, of course, Cruiser earlier today. I watched a little bit of Bree this morning. KRN, I watched him maybe 2 days ago. I can't remember. I just ain't really been watching nobody. And the people who have been coming live, they've been talking about shit I ain't got no interest in. All those Umar boys and stuff like that. I ain't got no interest in none of that shit. So as soon as I realize what they talking about, I just leave.
Girl, I've been watching that whole thing about the Shamar thing, and oh my God, that boy cannot rap. I told him, I said, look, you need Jesus. Anyway, I did try to give him some words of advice, so because I'm a nice person.
Like stick to your day job.
No, like you need to practice more, stay on beat. You kind of really off beat. Like even I can rap better.
Delusional, talking about he's about to go on tour with Cardi B, and they said Cardi B ain't even going on tour. Like what?
he's changed that up to something else now. Now he's going on tour. He supposedly has a 5-figure deal, and he can't tell you with who because he first said throughout a record label, and then people like, you know how people do around here, like we don't
Yeah,
see you
he
on
said
none of the lists.
he said one record label one day, and then on somebody else's panel, he said it was a different record label. So they was like, which one is it?
Then he said he was independent.
INDE. I heard him say that. He said INDEPEND. I heard him say that.
Then he said he had a distribution deal. I'm like, I hope to God you ain't got one by one of those scammers that tell you they'll do a distribution.
He's the scammer. What you mean? He's the scammer. He's scamming us. Trying to
That
make
poor
us
child. When he tried to rap, and they were trying to help him rap that night too. I laughed so hard. No, girl, you should have heard it. It was so funny.
Wasn't he supposed to do a talent show?
He did do it, and they ate his ass up in the Mo 3 sector.
But who was the other talent?
He went, okay, this is what happened. He went on before the show, he did it on MV's channel, right? MV. Before that show, though, he went on Bent Block, which he's from the Mo 3 sector. They asked him, to play some of the songs, spit some bars, whatnot. They laughed him out of the Mo 3 sector to the point he said he was going to quit. And then, of course,
he should.
Everybody was, well, not everybody, but the Bree and a lot of them was like, no, don't quit. I'm like, no, let him go back to his J job. He can't rap. Come on, man.
No, he can't rap.
Yes. And they was like, they did that before the show. They did a thing that night to where they were trying to help him stay on beat, and Vic Damone made a little beat for him, and Trend came up there, Intrinsic. And they were trying to teach him how to. Even she was rapping on beat better than he was. But they were trying to.
A rapper who was signed to a major.
Yeah, and then he did the show. It didn't go well. Let me say it that way. 2 of the co-hosts, three or 4 people got mad and left. They hated the rap. Payday and them, which is from Mo 3 sector, read him for filth, and then and this is all like he had to private NVIDIA the show because Grish supposedly told that Shakim's got papers out on him, like he's got a record. He's got warrants and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if you know that, but Grish let that go. She kind of set his paperwork online.
Oh boy, I heard that. So what kind of warrants he got?
I didn't see it myself, like to see the paperwork or anything. But I heard about it, you know what I'm saying? Because I was watching, I think it was Lemon after the show, and by the time I tried to go look it up, they had taken the video down.
Oh.
So I couldn't go back and see what it was saying because I was gonna go look. You know me, I'm curious.
Why did they take the video down?
It wasn't Lemon, it was Envy.
Oh, why they take the video down?
He said something about because people be wanting to strike his channel and Shakim used copyrighted music.
Oh, well, yeah. If they probably won't strike it, but you definitely won't get paid. The publisher, whoever owns it, the rights will get paid.
Yeah, I hate to tell him, but that's not a reason. It may have been because of what Grish said that he took it down. Now that could possibly get his channel.
I would have just deleted the music. That's how, if I really got a good live and I want that live and I want to get paid for that live, I don't care if that music was an intricate part of the video. I will mute that shit out. When YouTube send you that shit, say you had the option to mute it out or we can delete the music. I'll be like, mute that shit out of there. And I don't care if people rewatch it. They be like, what they dancing to? What they say?
Well, technically, only thing they can do to that video is for the portion that it's in, they can take proceeds from it. That's it. They can't take your channel for it because I've got covers.
No, they can't take your channel, but for that video, all of the proceeds will go. It don't care if it's a minute or 2 minutes of that music. If it's copyrighted music, they gonna take your they take the whole thing, all your AdSense you make on that video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's not worth it, especially if it's a good video and you got a whole bunch of clicks and views and take that music off.
I don't know if he's put it back up yet or not. But as far as I know, it's still down. I was hoping he would put it back up because I wanted to watch it and laugh again. Because I've heard this Shakim dude rap and use his music on multiple people's channel by now.
Yeah,
And
he's
listen
rapped
to it.
over here. I heard, girl, one day somebody was like, "Oh, bust a rap, show us some bars," or something. It was over here in the B sector, and I saw his ass up there. He was stumbling over his words. He kept like starting over, like he would say something. I'm like, ain't this some shit? This nigga really. If anybody believes that no.
Nope.
Like that day when he was on remember, you probably seen my community post that I had made, and I was saying something like my niece, she even got one of those artist YouTube channels, and what's his name? The creator of the Mo3, what's his name?
Come on, Duke Farrow.
Yeah, Duke was on that live, whoever live it was. He was on the live, and he showed us his artist thing on YouTube, because every real artist has an artist page that YouTube automatically creates. And they put all your music on there. You can't delete nothing. You can't change anything. It's totally run by YouTube. And then an artist will have their very own YouTube channel that they create themselves. And even my niece, I was showing even my niece, the one who created The Hood Table theme song, she has an artist channel submitted by YouTube. So it's like, everybody was like, where your channel? You can't show, he can't even show us studio shit. Like, what artists ain't put themselves on IG, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, somewhere in the studio?
I literally just learned that I can take my covers, where I sing covers a lot, and I can turn them into money. I just learned that myself. I didn't know, because I ain't never tried to do nothing with them, because they're just covers. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people do cover music, sure do.
But I knew about the artist page, and he was saying that. Lady Snoop was saying that. A few other people.
Lady Snoop, she was on there too. Whose show was that we was watching?
I think
Lady Snoop even jumped up there, and they was going back and forth.
It had to be either one or two platforms. It either had to be Lemon's or it had to be Nessa's. But I'm thinking it was probably
Lemon's, right? Yep, I think it was Lemon's. Yep. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because Bree ain't gonna let some of them people up.
You ain't about to get on my panel and play no Cardi B music and rap over it and take all my proceeds from that. I barely get shit anyway. Well, I barely get shit anyway for the little pennies they give you for every commercial that play on your shit. Then we got subscribers. Why y'all got so many commercials? Well, when you don't get cash apps and super chats and shit like that, like you gotta
get paid somehow.
You gotta put commercials in your shit. And that's like
Lemon's not monetized, so that's why it doesn't bother his channel as much. But I did tell him when he was trying to make that starter video for Lemon, he tried to make an intro video. He was using a copyrighted beat. I was like, you can't do that, because if Lemon does decide to monetize his channel, then every video he's ever played with that intro in it will then be copyright, and he won't make no money off of it in anything in the future. I said, and you can find, I found myself, that's where I made my new intro video myself, because I realized my music I was using was copyrighted, right? So what I did, I went and found new music that was not copyrighted. I ran it through YouTube to even check. That's why I made the introduction video and posted it, so it would tell me if it was copyright or not. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can check to see if music's copyright. There's a crap ton of music that's not copyrighted.
It's a crap ton.
Everything. And
a crap ton, yep.
You just got to go do that, or pay for your intro and your music from a person who actually has contracts and does this for a living, so that you're protected from being copyrighted. Because if you have a contract, like where your niece did yours, right? That was a personal song she did specifically for you, and you'll never be copyrighted for it because it was you paid for it from somebody.
Right.
That's all that he had.
But the thing about it with my niece is her lyrics over a beat. You know where she got that beat, Charlie?
Where?
From the free music.
Yep. You can get that. You can get those beats all day long for free.
Free music.
And you can make it. I told Lemon, I said, why don't you make your own? All you got to do is go to Canva.
Girl, I told my niecey Pooh, I said, can you rap over this? And actually, it was kind of a contest. I said it before. But when we first created the Hood Table, we wanted to get a theme song personalized for our YouTube channel. I put a post on Facebook. I said, all the local rappers, whoever can give me the best bars on this beat. And I said, everybody the same beat. And I said, I'll pay you. And I'll also, every time, every video, I'll put your information in the description box, and on every video is my niece's information. I had like 5 people, relatives, there's people in the community sending me music, and I didn't really was feeling not really of them, any of them. And I knew my niece was busy. She was traveling. I mean, she was doing concerts, and I hit her up. I said, niece, she was like, auntie, I got you. Give me till tomorrow. And when she sent me that beat, I listened to it. I couldn't stop listening to it. When I listened to the bars, I played that song probably 100 times over and over and over. I was like,
oh, it's good. I love that song.
This is it. I mean, I literally gave everybody the same information. Okay, we from the Hood Table, we from the hood. We talk about this, that, and that. You know, I gave them like the logistics of the channel, and she literally put everything into that song.
She did a good job. I love your intro.
It just made it like, wow. And I'll be thinking sometimes, I'm like, maybe it's time for a new song. I said, no, that's epic. That's epic. And when she makes it really big, big, big time, I'm going to be like, I was one of the first people that she created a song for.
that song does represent your channel well, too.
Very well. Yes. Yes. It can't get no better than that. But
anyway. These YouTube streets been crazy. It has been. Girl, we've been missing you, and I've been praying for your father.
Thank you.
And at the end of the live, before we leave, I know that it ain't going to be too long from now, I would like to say a little prayer up to Jesus.
Yes, we can do that. Absolutely. You know, it's either you or Sislo. I knew one of y'all probably would, because Sislo acted like she wanted to say a prayer when she first jumped on here. But and we can use it. We could truly, truly use it. He's still in the hospital. They still got problems with his breathing and his lungs. They can't send him home the way that he is. So they're working every day trying to clear his lungs and get him to the capacity where he don't need the tubes, because he still got tubes all through his body. So yeah, we could definitely use the prayers. Definitely.
I'm going to tell you this, if people don't believe, I am one of a miracle sitting right here in front of you right now, and the only man that has the last say-so is God himself.
Thank you. I know that's right, baby. Now, just because I grew up with some pastors that I thought weren't
good pastors,
God, I still believe in the Lord, okay?
The Lord will set you free.
Yes. Bro, he's back. Dr. Cleophas Earl, like
Dr. Cleophas Earl Ike Bartholomew Johnson Jr. That's a mouthful. In the spirit of Uncle Ike T.
You know what? Every time I think of my bros' names, when he be putting them long ass names up there, I always think about what they used to call Maddie. Like not Maddie, but what Maddie used to call what's her name? Bartholomew, Tasha.
Oh yeah, Tasha K.
Yes.
Talking about TV.
That long name.
She did that every time, and she would make it longer every time.
Yeah, she would just be adding Henry, George, Bartholomew. I mean, there's all kind of names on there, and I'd be like, what the hell? T.S. Madison always got me with that. But bro, anything you want to add to anything that we talked about today? We got like 11 minutes, bro. I
will say, I I was nice to
But
Shaquem.
yeah, we just chilling. That's all. Just listening, maybe paying attention. About it. I
All
know
right.
the only
Okay. Oh, your sound, bro. Your sound, bro. You might have to go out and come back in.
song. Just make sure pop off. Just make
Your
sure
sound, bro.
brother.
Your
Breaking
sound.
up.
We can't hear you. You got to go out and come back in because we can't understand you.
I will tell you this.
I
When
just
we had
put him
that,
down because I don't know if he could hear me, but his sound was like really
I
bad.
don't think he can because I think he's in the car. You know how when he gets in the car, it'll be breaking up.
Okay, yeah, he might be.
But with Shaquem stuff, I did read his butt a lot in them chats. I gave him heck. I was not nice. I will tell the truth. This is, but like I will say, if he practices enough, he might get better. But don't try to quit your day job to become a rapper when you ain't even that good at it. Like just because two words rhyme, don't mean they flow together.
Right. But when he was standing in that camera, Charlie, when he was standing, I said, "Oh, look at his little self. He looks so little. How tall is he?
I don't know. I think he may be like 5'8", maybe if that, maybe 5'6". I don't know. He looks short.
Like he looks like 5'2".
But I think he needs like somebody to sit down and tell him the whole truth. Look, you ain't on beat. You got issues. Like you need to learn more before you try to sell this, and stop lying saying you got a record deal because it makes you look ridiculous. If you
And we
are
gonna find out.
serious, yeah, we gonna find out. Because trust me, this is the beef sector. If they can find out who people are behind troll pages, what you think they're gonna find out about you? You know what I'm saying? And you show your face. You know what I mean? They're gonna find everything. They will dox you down to your toenails in this sector. Don't play with them like that.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm gonna start calling him the little rapper that could. What's up, bro? You back?
Yeah, he was trying. He was trying though. I gotta give like he said I quit, and the reason he did that, and I'm gonna tell you this, what I've noticed about him, he is a massive troll. That's what I figured out about him. Massive troll. He lies. Almost everything you catch him in is in a lie. I'm like, bro, just tell the truth. It will set you free. Be
Yeah.
yourself.
I
People
don't
will
like
like
those
you
kind of
more.
people. Like you don't know when to believe them.
Yeah, if something bad did happen tomorrow and he actually had something real going on in his life, nobody's going to believe him. You know what I'm saying? And I think the only reason people got upset with Ken for taking up for Brooke was not because he was taking up for a woman, because he had every right to do that. It was the fact that at that time, when it was time at the Brooke situation, it was almost as if excusing abuse, if that makes sense. Like you're taking up for something that you shouldn't be standing on a soapbox for. But Ken was talking about that today. I was like, there's going to be people who hate you and who love you, Ken, because you've been through some shit on the streets. You know what I mean? some people, some people don't like you. They got their feelings. But same thing with Shaquem. Like, there's people on these streets who just do not like him. And it's because of some of the stuff he's done. There's going to be some people who are cool with him. There's going to be some people who are indifferent. You know what I'm saying? They don't really care.
The people who I just think there are a lot of people on here. They come on here on YouTube and they basically put on this big old front, and we done seen like we done seen the biggest ones get outed, right? Exposed without even saying their names. You probably already know who I'm talking about. But they come on here with this facade, and it's like you just can't come on here with a facade and just be on here. You have to come on here with this facade and then down talk and criticize everybody else as if your life is so perfect and great. That's what I don't like. If you want to come on here and pretend to be somebody you ain't, okay. But if you pretending to be somebody you ain't, and like you didn't, like, okay, like let's say you did something criminally, with children or whatever. And then you come on here and we see it all the time. You got a case, but you want to talk about somebody else.
Mm-hmm. It's too many hypocritical things going on in the sector. Like, you can't have an abuse charge and then down somebody else for the same thing, or domestic violence charge. You can't downgrade somebody else if you also did the same thing. You got to come from a point of, hey, I did, be truthful about it. I did some stuff like that in the past. I learned from my mistake. It's not cool what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, change your life.
Right.
Like, come from that perspective instead of, nah, you a child abuser, you a beater.
Or just don't talk about it at all. Like you said earlier, if you got this going on in your life, just don't talk about kids at all. If you have a a CPS case, you shouldn't be talking about nobody else and their children, period. Criticizing nobody else parenting, period. You're the last one that needs to be up here trying to say what somebody needs to be doing in their house with their kids.
Facts.
But it's not just that. There's a lot of other things. Like, people get on here and they talk about other people's jobs or where they live. And then when you find out that they live in a little shack, or they staying with 50 people, or they homeless, or they live in a mama basement. I mean, like, but for years you up here talking about this person's house. Like, it's crazy to me, the hypocrisy. Just don't talk about certain shit if you know you still need to sweep the dirt from your stairs, from around your front porch and back porch and side porch and patio.
That is straight facts, because
that's just how I feel,
I've seen it so much. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. You're sitting there watching somebody do something that somebody else done did, and they keep harping to each other. I'm like, y'all both guilty. Shut up.
Yeah. And bro, can you hear us okay? Because your sound was, child, we couldn't.
Yeah, I can hear y'all, but because it's been raining cats and dogs down here, so the signals is all screwed up. So,
you were like, I was
just saying, that's because my signal was breaking up before we got ready to get disconnected. And I was gonna say to y'all, if I did get disconnected, everything all is well, but y'all just make sure everybody brush their teeth. That's all.
And wash your face. And Charlie got you. When you ain't here, Charlie got you.
For sure. That's all I was saying. I've been listening though. Y'all know what it is.
I always got to take one for my bro and my sis, and I always got to say the catchphrases so everybody knows.
And I'll be waiting for her to say it too. After I say my shit, I'll be sitting there like, I know Charlie gonna say it. I know she's gonna say
it. I'm gonna say keep it hood.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. I know I didn't really know which way this direction was going to go on the show. I know there was several people I wanted to discuss, and I was like, whatever anybody wants to bring to the table after that is always up for discussion. But I did enjoy the show today. I know Charlie, she wanted to say a prayer on our way out for my father, who's still in the hospital. He's still in the hospital dealing with breathing and lung issues. He's been in ICU, on the ICU floor for over a week now. And we're not looking for him to come home anytime soon. It's just up in the air right now. So, Charlie, if you would do the honors and say a little prayer. Everybody else, hit me.
Bow your heads, close your eyes. All right, brother, don't do that because you're driving. Okay.
Please don't close your eyes, bro.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today and we pray for the hood tables. Father, we pray for healing. We pray for, at this time, for strength for all the family that's around, because, dear Lord, they need you now and he needs you now. We pray that he gets home safe and sound, and that everyone in the family comes together in this time of need. And the hood table herself, pray for her strength, because we know that it's going through a lot right now. We know how stressful this situation is, Lord. And keep your mighty hands on him. In his name, I say amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I really do. There are people who be pitting me up on Facebook, texting me on IG, saying that they're still praying for us, leaving messages under my videos. I appreciate it. I really, really do. My dad don't even know all of y'all. He don't know nothing about no YouTube.
But he like our daddy too. Dang, he's the hood table daddy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, Dad, they on YouTube praying for you. YouTube. But yeah, so I've been out there to the hospital so much. I actually had a package delivered there to the hospital instead of to my house, and it's for me. And so when the package came, he was like, "Ooh, you sent me something? What you sent me?" I'm like, "That's for me." I said, "I'll be out there tomorrow to get it," because I have been like, if they call you, you know what I'm saying? You can't just be like, "Oh, I'll be there later." You know, if something really serious going on, I have to get up and tell my boss, I gotta go. Sorry, I gotta get off of work. I gotta go. So, I'm glad that I have a job like that that's really understanding as well. That's why I'm still there after 12 years. But sometimes I just have to get up and go. And so I had stuff sent there, and he's like, "Oh, so you ain't sent me nothing?" Dad, I'm there with you all the time. I always ask you, what do you want? Do you need anything? Do you want me to bring? He'd be like, "Bring me some Burger King." No, you can't have no Burger King. All he wanted snacks and fast food. Like, no, you can't have those. Oh my God. Ooh, Charlie. One day he got in trouble by the nurses and he called me. He said, "I'm just telling you, I'm just apologizing in advance. I'm sorry." I said, "You sorry for what? What you do?" He said, "They found my tobacco."
He didn't. That my daddy was. I'm gonna tell you, my daddy. My daddy. They thought he had a massive heart attack, so they had him in ICU. Right. My daddy was opening the window in the ICU, turned off the oxygen, and smoking a cigarette. If I ain't sitting here, he ain't doing it. I ain't sitting here. I'm like, Daddy.
My dad smoked for so long. He started smoking when he was 12. And which is a lot of the reason behind, why he's in the hospital, even though he was attacked. It just like he already had health issues. And then when he was attacked and his lungs collapsed, it was like all the years on top of the lungs collapse. It was just like a domino effect, right? And so he stopped smoking a while ago, like years ago. And then he started doing the tobacco. I'm like, "Dad, that's the same thing." And he said, "No, because it ain't no smoke. It ain't go." I'm like, "Oh God." And so the other day he was trying to chew on a little tobacco. And I ain't gonna lie, it was a day in there when I was with him like a week ago. He was like, "Bring me a cup with some water in it." I already knew what he wanted it for. And I'm up there sneaking it to him. I'm like, "Man, you gonna get me busted." So when he told me the other day, and the nurse was in the background, he said, "They mad at me, they mad at me." And I'm like, "Dad, they not mad at you, but you can't be doing that up there." And the nurse was in the background. "We're not mad at him. We just took it away from him and put it in a safe space, safe place." Oh, it was so funny, Charlie, because he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm just letting you know ahead of time before they say something."
It sounds like my daddy, like he'll dry snitch on himself to me.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell you before they tell you, so you won't get so mad at me."
But it was so funny because he sounded like a little kid. He was like, "I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I'm like, "Dad, don't worry about it. It'll be all right." But yeah, so we're hoping that he hurry up and come home soon, because he's not liking that. But who likes to be in the hospital for a long period of time? Nobody. So yeah.
But
thank you
again,
again, Charlie.
Amazing people in his life to look out for him, which is you,
Absolutely,
my beautiful sister.
Absolutely. Yep, he got me. He got my brothers. He got a lot of family here. We both got a lot of people down south on both sides of our family, but we still got a lot of family here too. So a lot of his brothers and sisters are here, and nieces, nephews. So people been visiting him and trying to keep his spirits up, calling him and stuff like that. So yeah, it all helps. It all helps. Yep. But other than that, that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna get off of here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Probably watch a little Netflix, Hulu, something, for a couple of hours. Then I'm gonna go to bed because I've been exhausted like literally for 2 weeks. And I was like, man, they gonna think something real bad because I ain't been online. I've been trying to, post a video here and there, but I'm like, the hoodies understand. They understand.
We understand. We love you, girl. I ain't even gonna say what I'm gonna do when I get off here.
Uh-oh. Well, you know what? When he do get home, I might have to go live and have all my homies hop on the panel with me, because this is really stressful. Anybody who has a loved one that's been in the hospital for a long period of time is very stressful. One day I sat at the hospital for 12 hours straight in those hard ass chairs in the lobby because he was having surgery. And they kept moving the surgery back. But I wanted to be there. Like most people who have surgeries, their family and friends like to be there while they're under. because anything could happen. And you don't want to be
Especially
at home or at work, or you know what I'm saying? So, but they kept moving it back. I'm sitting there, okay. Then they said it's gonna be an hour. Went to an hour and a half. Then they said 2 hours. It went up to like 3.5 to 5 hours. The surgery was so damn long. Then it was like a 2 hour after recovery. Then we had to wait for them to find him a fucking room. And I mean, Charlie, I got there at 10 in the morning. I didn't get home at 10:30 at night. I was so damn exhausted. I was like,
that'll put a strain on anybody. You got to think, not only are you trying to worry about your father, you love him, you know, all the stuff he's going through, then you got your own kids, then you got job, then you got your cake decorating business, you know what I'm saying? And then everything just on top of everything.
That's with my cakes. I mean, y'all know I love doing my cakes and stuff. And when people pay for cakes, they pay for them ahead of time, especially if it's a big order or a very detailed or intricate, you know, a very detailed, extravagant, you know, design or something like that. I haven't done a lot of those lately. The orders that I've done, they've been pretty easy to do. You know, I can do a lot of shit, but they've been along the easier cakes to do designs. But still, people pay for them in advance. And so when shit like that happened, I'm like, oh God, my dad is in the hospital. I got all these orders, graduation orders. I think my last order is on the 29th or the 30th for the month. And I'm like, all this shit, my dad's in the hospital. I still got to work because I still got to pay the bills. And it's a lot. So that's why I said all the prayers are really appreciated. This ain't the first time where I had to deal with a parent being in the hospital or being sick. Y'all know my mother passed from cancer in 2015. So I definitely, I ain't gonna say I'm used to it, but I ain't new to it. You know what I'm saying?
I got what you mean.
But yeah.
But other than take care of yourself, sis, too.
I'm trying to. People been telling me that too. I'm trying to. I really am. But other than that, any last words? Either one of you want to say towards anything at all?
Nah, I'm good. All is well. Y'all know what it is. Just brush your teeth.
All right, bro.
And like Sislo say, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Ain't nothing you can nothing.
We love y'all. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
For sure.
And as we say all the time, everybody who tuned in today, thankful. I'm grateful for all the hoodies, all Hood Nation, everybody who supports us over here. Make sure you like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Feel free to hit the join membership button and the Cash App, $the Hood Table 402. And as always, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood.
Sure.
Love you guys.
Love you. Mwah. Bye.
All right. Have a good night.